Hello, I'm Craig Johnson, and that's my house where I've been privileged to spend a lot of time during the coronavirus quarantine, and where I've made a number of short videos called Literary Lockdowns, mixing my interests in theater, history, and dusty old literature. I took that picture on Memorial Day, and about 8 hours later, and 8 blocks away, George Floyd was murdered on the street by Minneapolis police. There is no Dead Poets Society that can give voice to such a horrific tragedy. But these four poets long ago wrestled with the issues of their day and in their way. And maybe there's some inspiration for us. Anyway, thanks for watching. We know Henry David Thoreau best as the author of Walden. He was part of the Transcendentalist movement in New England, though he did spend a little time in Minnesota hiking through the river bluffs along the Mississippi River by Red Wing. A lifelong abolitionist and what we would now call a staunch environmentalist, he had a strong distrust for the corrupting power of government institutions, which comes through in his very famous essay on civil disobedience, and he throws up his hands at everything in this snarky little verse.
Here lies the body of this world, whose soul, alas, to hell is hurled. This golden youth long since was past, its silver manhood went as fast, an iron age drew on at last. 'Tis vain its character to tell, the several fates which it befell, what year it died, when 'twill arise, we only know that here it lies.
Thoreau's friend, Walt Whitman, shared many of his philosophies, love of nature, and impatience at the shortcomings of human society, especially the institution of slavery. Though the verdict is still out on Thoreau, Whitman has definitely been claimed as one of the great gay poets. His massive American epic, a collection of poems he kept working on through the years, is Leaves of Grass, and it loosened up the tight corset of 19th century verse. This poem, for example, is actually only 10 lines of free verse, but very long lines.
I sit and look out upon all the sorrows of the world, and upon all oppression and shame. I hear secret convulsive sobs from young men at anguish with themselves, remorseful after deeds done. I see in low life the mother misused by her children, dying, neglected, gaunt, desperate. I see the wife misused by her husband. I see the treacherous seducer of young women. I mark the ranklings of jealousy and unrequited love attempted to be hid. I see these sights on the earth. I see the workings of battle, pestilence, tyranny. I see martyrs and prisoners. I observe a famine at sea. I observe the sailors casting lots. Who shall be killed to preserve the lives of the rest? I observe the slights and degradations cast by arrogant persons upon laborers, the poor, and upon Negroes and the like. All these, all the meanness and agony without end, I, sitting, look out upon, see, hear, and am silent.
Pink roses may seem the right image for the immensely popular Ella Wheeler Wilcox, whose steady rhythm and rhymes and conventional, even sentimental subject matter made her the darling of many readers and earned her some derision from later writers. But I wonder if her fans and foes were as surprised as I was to discover this poem.
To sin by silence, when we should protest, makes cowards out of men. The human race has climbed on protest. Had no voice been raised against injustice, ignorance, and lust, the Inquisition yet would serve the law, and guillotines decide our least disputes. The few who dare must speak, and speak again to right the wrongs of many. Speech Thank God, no vested power in this great day and land can gag or throttle. Press and voice may cry loud disapproval of existing ills, may criticize oppression, and condemn the lawlessness of wealth-protecting laws that let the children and child-bearers toil to purchase ease for idle millionaires. Therefore, I do protest against the boast of independence in this mighty land. Call no chain strong, which holds one rusted link. Call no land free, that holds one fettered slave, until the manacled slim wrists of babes are loosed to toss in childish sport and glee, until the mother bears no burden save the precious one beneath her heart, until God's soil is rescued from the clutch of greed and given back to labor, let no man call this the land of freedom.
Emma Lazarus was born into a Jewish family that had been in America since colonial days. She began writing poetry at age 11 and had her first book published by the time she was 18. She was involved in many social justice issues, including tax reform and aiding Jewish immigrants who were fleeing persecution in Tsarist Russia. This sonnet is certainly her best-known poem.
Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and whose name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shores. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.